Hello, everybody, and today we're going to be explaining the lore of Undertale. Um, while I explain this, though, I will be trying to fight Asgore on my playthrough. Um, so it's kind of hard to really explain the lore about this. So if the really the beginning of the Undertale lore, you really see at the end of the game when you're about to fight Asgore. So, yeah, that's one thing to say to understand. This happens before Frisk even comes into the game. So, uh, pretty long time ago, what happened was Asgore and Toriel together, uh, like Asgore and Toriel had Asriel, but that's pretty obvious. But then Asriel met a human down in the underground as it called for help. The thing with this is the human that I'm talking about right now is Kara. I'm pretty sure. I don't know 100%, but I'm pretty sure it's Kara. But one day, uh the human, Kara, I'm pretty sure, fell extremely ill. And they had only one request: to see the flowers of their village. Oh, crap. See the flowers of their village one last time. But they couldn't really do anything about it. So that was pretty sad. Crap. I did not do the right thing to prepare. And Asriel lost the human that day. The human had died literally the next day. So filled with grief, Asriel picks up the human and tries to bring it back to the village to lay him in the flowers there. But the humans, they just saw Asriel with a dead child in his hands, so they threw everything at Asriel. Now, Asriel had consumed the soul, like basically absorbed the soul of the human when the human died while he was filled with that grief. Um, and so he had enough power to kill them all. He could have protected himself and killed every single one of those humans, but he decided not to. Uh, for some reason, and he decided to let the humans live. Uh, and so after that, he kind of just chilled and laid down in the garden. His dust spread all over the garden. Everybody was distraught. The king, Asgore, the one I'm fighting right now, Asgore got really, really mad at the humans, I guess. And he started, anytime a human would come down here, he would kill them. And once he gathered 7 souls, he planned to go up and just kill all the humans. Transition to today, um, Frisk enters the fray, and uh, he comes along. Uh, he he fights Asgore. Really, what happens then is up to you, but he fights the way I'm doing this. Um, he kills some that he thinks are trying to hurt him, and that's it. Doesn't hurt any other monsters. Yeah, I did not prepare for that well. That's my fault. And he he kills Undyne. He lets Undyne. He leaves her. He leaves Undyne to just die. And I'm saying he, but Frisk actually, I don't know Frisk's actual gender, come to think of it. Frisk's gender is kind of a mystery, for me at least. I don't know if that's like a well-known thing in the community, but for me at least, that's a very unknown thing. So we're just gonna assume that Frisk is a he. And he goes through, gets to Hotland, and makes good friends with the royal scientist, and now we're here fighting Asgore. After this, since I've already beaten Asgore, I know this. It's just I'm replaying the game. You fight Flowey. Flowey absorbs the souls of the fallen humans, and you fight him, trying to defeat him, let the souls go, yada yada. After that, you kind of go back in the timeline and do whatever you want. You can do like genocides and all sorts of stuff. You can do genocide as your first run. Just don't recommend it because it does taint the pacifist route ending, I'm pretty sure. So you need to make sure you're careful about that. Um but you can also go back and learn more about, like, you can go back, be a pacifist, help all of the soul, like, help everybody, just be a good friend, and that kind of, it almost rewards you, it seems, with a better ending. Wow, I'm already eating the steak. That's crazy. Okay. Man, this fight's so tough. And that's kind of really all it is. That's really the whole lore that I really understand. Now, some predictions we can make. What happened after the pacifist run? Do they, like, some people would know this as they done pacifist, but as someone who's only beaten neutral, and that was with help from another person using the multiplayer mod, uh, as someone like that, I haven't actually beaten pacifist, so it's like, for me, do they go out of the underground? Do they live on the surface anyway? That's a mystery to me. Uh, Flowey, does he escape with us? Is he spared? What about Sans? What does he think? There are so many questions yet to be answered, uh, by me at least, and it's very fun to speculate. If you guys, it would be great if you guys could tell me your predictions in the comments. Although if you already know, like, you know for sure, don't spoil it, please. I just send me like theories. um, but yeah, that's kind of all that I have for lore. Now, predictions wise, what happened to Frisk to make him want to go to Mount Ebott? Today will also be part of speculation on what Frisk is doing in the underground. So, my theory, personally, is that Frisk doesn't really uh like his position in his life. People control him and treat him almost like a slave-ish. And so he tries to run away to Mount Ebott, but he falls into the underground. And when he goes into the underground, he meets all these friends, sometime depending on what you do. But that's why he went to Mount Ebott to run away from that terrible life. And honestly, it makes sense to me why he did that. But one thing is, Frisk probably it's kind of odd. There is uh definitely a plot hole in there, and that is, how did Frisk even know about Mount Ebott? And if he was to fall down, how did he fall down? Like, what led to that chain of events? That is kind of that is all speculation. And I basically just said my entire theory. It is very hard to know what it really was, what really happened there. Uh, that is probably one of the biggest mysteries I have yet to solve. That anyone's yet to solve, I think. But my theory is that, yeah, Frisk had a terrible life. He wanted to run away from it. So he camped. He wanted to go to camp out at Mount Ebott, and then, fell down. Met Flowey. Things were going great until I realized Flowey was a very evil flower intent on destroying everyone. Who was a genocidal maniac. Uh, so you learn that, and the real game starts. And that's kind of really where the lore kicks off there, is that point. Oh, crap, I need to equip the dagger. Dagger would be better. What I think happens after a pacifist route, though, you would go with your friends to the surface and kind of just live a normal life. That's what my prediction is. They go and live a normal life in the surface. Ow, ow. Okay, I'm on 1 health. G-Burger. Boom. Okay, I think I'm getting to the end of the fight. No, no, I'm not. Oh my god, I'm doing no damage. Okay. But that's kind of really the whole lore as far as I understand it. And then we go into Deltarune, which is very odd. I've never played Deltarune, so I couldn't really tell you any lore about that. But I think Deltarune definitely has a connection to Undertale of some sort. That kind of hints at what life would have been like in the underground before Frisk came along. Oh, yes! Okay. I beat him. Nice. It's very hard to piece together everything. But that's gonna be all for today's video. It was a shorter one, yes, but that's really all the lore I can really explain. It's not that big of a game, and it's not that hard to piece together the lore like that. But I hope you all enjoyed. I had a great time. I hope you all enjoyed, and have a great day. Goodbye.